Hi. It's been a while. A lot has happened, which is primarily the reason for me not having made any videos. One of those things is this. My daughter. I'm pretty sure the last time I made a video, I didn't have this dog, so it's been a while. So yeah. Mainly, this video is going to be a recap of the last couple months, if not more than that. It definitely will be a recap on the last month of having a newborn. She's a month old now, which is crazy. And then if I have other footage, I might add that in as well. But yeah, it's been a lot, but all great. And so I just haven't prioritized making videos, but I'd like to get back in the swing of that again. So here we are. Let's get to it. Let's look back. Hi, I'll show my face.
Is that our baby girl?
Yeah. Sleepy now, so her eyes aren't open.
Sleepy girl.
There she is.
Sweet. Talk to you later.
Here's my little baby. She's sleeping. Her name's Odessa, by the way. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the month. There's some footage of it, but I just wanted to talk about it. So, first month as a mom has been interesting. First few weeks, I had a lot of anxiety, which I wasn't really expecting. I was expecting to have more just like baby blues, and I think the anxiety was due to baby blues, but like I was expecting to be more sad than anxious. The main anxieties were just if I was gonna do something wrong as a mom, or if she was gonna stop breathing for no reason, because SIDS is a thing. I did have some moments of just sadness, and that was kind of like at night, because the nights were rough. We weren't sleeping much. My husband would. So I felt pretty alone. Like it was just her and me. There's one night where I was trying to get her to fall back asleep because she had just eaten. And she was acting like she was still hungry because cluster feeding. And I was just holding her and crying because I felt like I was so tired and I was a bad mom and I couldn't figure out what to do, and she wouldn't sleep. The other thing with that is I had a pretty bad tear, 3rd degree. She was 9 pounds. So I couldn't sit for the first few days. So nursing, sitting up was rough. In the hospital it was okay because those beds will kind of gradually recline, they sit up. But in my own bed, even with pillows, I couldn't really just sit much, so I would lay down, like side lie nurse her, and then I'd fall asleep, and then we end up co-sleeping. And pediatricians and doctors will tell you, don't co-sleep. But a lot of moms I know do it, so I was at a loss. So I'm like, should I do this? Does this make me a bad mom? What other options do I have? Yeah, that gave me a lot of anxiety. Basically, what I ended up coming to terms with was I have to do my best to take care of my daughter and myself, because if I don't take care of myself, I can't take care of my daughter well. So we've basically ended up co-sleeping. Beginning of the night, she'll go down by herself. In the middle of the night, I just don't stay awake through the end of her feeding. So I'll wake up the next time she fusses to switch sides. And it's been fine and good. I just, do it safely. Don't have blankets around her and pillows, things like that. So yeah, it's working. We're doing it. That's probably controversial. We had a pediatrician appointment today, her 1 month appointment, and she is 12 pounds. Her birth weight was 9 pounds, 7 ounces. At her 2 week appointment, she was 10 pounds, 7 ounces, and now she is 12 pounds, 6.8 ounces. So very nearly 2 pounds up from her 2 week appointment. She was also born 22 inches long, and she's now 23 inches and a quarter. So she's about the size of a 3-month-old baby already, which is odd. My husband and I aren't large people. We're not very tall. We're pretty average all the way around. So she was 2 weeks late, which I think has put her like ahead and behind in some ways. So like she is bigger than she should be for her week age, but she's also makes her look like advanced, I think. Like it makes her look like she's bigger. So like she's born behind, but she seems advanced because of it, if that makes any sense. She's holding up her head really well. She's starting to react to us and smile and coo. Not a whole lot, hopefully more and more each day. She's like, it's hard to tell what her personality is yet, but so far she seemed pretty chill. I've been pretty anxious, and she's basically happy-go-lucky unless she's hungry. So yeah, sometimes she gets a little bit like, she sleeps much better in my arms. And then if I go put her down in the bassinet, she wakes up sometimes because I think she can tell when we're not in the room. But overall, I think she's a pretty chill baby, and I hope that it stays that way. Oh. What's wrong, baby? Yeah? Oh, are you happy or sad? Can't decide? Look at that lip. What's wrong? Trying to remember what I was going to talk about before she interrupted. I think it was about the first few weeks of being a mom. Oh yeah, so my husband was on leave from work. Last week was the first week where my husband was back at work and my family was gone for the most part. But I also had my sister's wedding that I was in last weekend. So there's a lot of wedding festivities from Thursday onward. So I thought that last week would be kind of our first normal week and figuring out routines and what life looks like, but it was very abnormal. So this week is the first week we haven't had too many crazy things happening and haven't had too many people over, and it's gone pretty well. Had I looked forward to this week in the beginning few weeks? No. And I would have been pretty terrified of it the first few weeks. The thought of my husband going back to work was pretty scary to me. But most of that subsided, and I feel more confident and competent as a mom. I'm sure that will kind of come and go, the anxiety, depending on new things and new stages, but overall, it's gotten a lot better and I feel more like myself. The first few weeks I felt like a crazy anxious person that I didn't know, and my anxiety didn't really make sense, the level that it was at. I remember my husband went to go get a Chromecast because we left ours at the hospital and lost it. And so I asked him to go ahead and get one of those Owlet socks. If you don't know about that, I'll link it in the description, but it's this little sock that goes on your baby's foot and monitors their heart rate and their oxygen levels. I just really wanted that because I couldn't even sleep well at night because while she was asleep, I would constantly check her to make sure she was still breathing. So he came home and he tried to make a joke. I had just called my sister, crying, feeling pretty nervous going into the second or third night at home. And he comes home trying to make a joke and said, well, they definitely had the Chromecast in stock. And I looked at him and I was like, and the Owlet sock? And he's like, are you crying? I was trying to make a joke. I was like, I really need that if I'm going to sleep tonight. So they did have it, and we've been using that, and that just gives me so much more peace of mind. You can watch some reviews on that. There's one I'll link in the description that's really good by a dad who reviews parenting products, I believe. And it is a little bit with the heart rate, or the oxygen, I believe. No, heart rate. It's a little low, and I verified with my pediatrician. You wouldn't want their heart rate to get as low as it'll let you before the alarm's gone off. But the oxygen is pretty good. The oxygen alarm did go off once while I was holding her. And that freaked me out. But I think it was some kind of fluke, or I was looking down at her and breathing on her. Maybe she's getting too much CO2 or something. She was fine, and it went back up as soon as I moved her. So that's been such a great peace of mind and super helpful as a first-time parent. Overall, parenting has been good, stressful in some ways, but good overall. I was in my sister's wedding, which was crazy. I was the matron of honor, and I know I didn't do as much as I normally would, but it still felt like a lot with a baby, going to showers and bachelorette parties and things like that. She was a champ. She came along, put her in a little wrap carrier, and she just was pretty content, even though it was really hot those days. And she did well at the wedding, made it through the whole little sermonette, processional and sermonette. She got fussy around the vows, but my husband just took her out and she did pretty well. So I'd say the first month was a success, and now the challenge is trying to figure out what normal looks like, trying to get some semblance of routines in place, being able to do a little artwork, which I've been able to do the past few days, some journaling, reading, stuff like that. So I think what I'm going to aim for is doing monthly vlogs, and in between that, if I do some art videos, great. And I'll just kind of update y'all at least once a month, because that seems more doable than weekly. So yeah, maybe at some point as I get faster and better at doing these, I'll do more weekly vlogs. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully next time I'll have more interesting art related content. And yeah, see you next time.